Hey folks, welcome to week 5 of the Active Self-Protection FBI Dry Fire Challenge. I'm getting better at that rolling off the tongue, right? Hey, I just got back from SHOT Show. My lungs are not feeling good. Steph's not feeling good either, so give me a break on the voice this week. I'm going to do my best. I expect you'll do the same, so here we go.
The new Mantis X10 firearms performance system has all the goodness of the original, plus holster draw analysis and recoil analysis. It's a fantastic upgrade, and I recommend it highly.
Like I said, week 5, right? Here we go. If you have followed along and done just the very bare minimums, so far you've pulled the trigger somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,400 to 1,800 times, based on how fast you reset and all of that kind of thing. You know, there's a window there, right? Everybody's within that. Some of you have gone to a great extreme and pulled the trigger 1,000 times a week, and I commend that. You're really getting better. I'm seeing scores go up. Really appreciate the people that are sharing some video and their scores and screenshots in the Facebook group. That's the ASP Dry Fire Challenge on Facebook. I think we're just over 1,300 people there. Really appreciate you guys coming up there and doing that. The coaching and the help that everybody's been given has been really good. One thing I want you to really understand is that this Dry Fire Challenge that we're doing is specifically set up to pass the FBI qual. Not for anything else. We're not doing any other stuff other than passing the FBI qual with this. So when we say start this position or start that, you can do whatever you want, frankly. But on this deal where we are trying to focus on a specific task that we're trying to pass, we've got a reason for that. So I get it. Share your feedback. Be kind, please. I don't want to have to boot people out of the group. It's not fun. I don't like doing it. This week, what I want you to do, we're going to introduce some of the actual steps to the drill because there's some reloads. If you followed along at home, you probably already know what this drill is about, but there are some specific steps to that, and I'll probably go through that next week as we get ready to start shooting because we've only got 2 weeks left and then we're going to go shoot. So we've been able to help some of the folks on the Facebook page that have shared some videos of themselves to, you know, round out corners, take the shoulder out, take the hip out. There's been a little bit of dancing going on. That's where I was in a long time, or not too long ago, to be real honest with you. So this is not a bad thing. And again, that's why I want to keep it professional. We all started someplace, and my golly, I remember my first time on the range. John and I have talked about at some point, sitting down and sharing that story with y'all. It's stupid funny. This guy, total soup sandwich the first time on the range. So don't get yourself down if you don't feel like you're coming along at the speed that you should be. Again, this is a project to pass the FBI qual in 6 weeks. If you're doing the work, the vast majority, I think, of you will keep doing the work. If you do the work, it will pay off. And everybody is at a different place in their journey, so don't get yourself down if somebody's telling you something different, okay? In previous weeks, we've just done the same thing for about 10 minutes. This week, we're going to introduce a few more things because there are several different drills within the FBI qual that you've got to pass, and we've only got 2 weeks to get through these kind of things. They're not super important, but they're important to be able to pass, if that makes sense. Okay, so for the drills this week, I want you to be barrel blocked up. Got another report of somebody having some accidents. Everybody's safe, nobody's hurt, but my goodness, if you don't have a barrel block by now, they're $12. I think it's ASP 20, gives you a discount. The link will be in the video. Go get one, for crying out loud. It's time to have this. Let's protect ourselves and be safe, okay? All right, so I am barrel blocked up. Got a mag block in here, got my Mantis on the bottom. We're gonna go to work. So today's day 1 of week 5, right? So day 1, what I want you to do is start with a benchmark. Get out there, feel where you are, make sure you're tracking that to see how you're doing. Piece of cake, right? Then we're gonna start our training. Day 1's training is 20 trigger presses in open training. So push out. I'm not so much worried about the draw or any of that kind of stuff at this point. Just maybe start at a high register, push out, find your sights, get a good trigger press. Get 20 of those. Score in the 90s should be where you're aiming at. That's what I want to see. Okay, so get after that, have some fun with it. Get 20 of those. We're gonna move on to the holster. So now we're going to work on getting out of the holster and getting on target because that's a big portion of passing this, right? So the biggest thing is get your hits. The second thing is you got to get your gun out and find your sights. So let's start working from the holster a little bit more. Now we got all of last week, we did nothing but holster. So really all I want to do is get about 20 good draws from the holster. Should take you a couple of minutes. So you can start here, you can start at the fig leaf. I know people say different things and all that, but we're trying to pass the FBI qual, so start with fig leaf if you want. If you want to be up here, the secret is reach down, grab your belly. That's the deal. Okay, so here we go. With the fig leaf, what I want you to do is I just want you to press out and get it out there. There we go. Get 20 good presentations. Now the fun part is we're going to add in a timer now. So we're going to be about 5 to 7 minutes into your drill. Your last 3 to 5 minutes is we're going to introduce some stuff that you're going to need to actually pass. So get your timer. If you got something like this, if you've got it on your phone, if you want to use a stopwatch, I don't care what you want, but I want a 5-second par. And what that means is you want to beep at 5 seconds, another beep, okay? And what I'm going to have you do is start with your beep. So you're going to draw out, you're going to pull the trigger 5 times. 4 of those are going to be a dead trigger, might even be a stuck trigger. I don't really care about that. Just press out and get 5 good trigger pulls in 5 seconds. Get a feeling for what that feels like to pull the trigger with a time constraint. Because what you're going to find is the first time you're going to hear a beep, you're going to push out and you're going to click just as fast as you can go. And then you're going to wait, you're going to count to 5 with your trigger presses. And then you're going to hear silence for about 3 seconds. And then you're going to hear the second beep. You've wasted all of that time to get good shots on target. Now, you may have all of them on there anyway. That's fine. But get after getting the cadence down of getting 5 out of your holster and 5 shots on target in 5 seconds. Understand you have no recoil, so kind of figure that in a little bit, but that's where I want you to go. Okay? Then, once we've spent, you're probably going to do that, let's say 10 times. Okay? Piece of cake. 10 times. Draw, pull the trigger 5 times in 5 seconds. Moving on to the next step for the last probably 2 minutes of this, maybe 3 minutes, is going to be reloads. Reloads is a portion where people drop so many points, typically 4 points, on the FBI qual, because part of this is you're going to have to draw, put 4 shots on target, do a reload, and 4 more shots. You've got 8 seconds to do it in the actual drill. So for this week, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you stage an extra mag in your pocket or your mag carrier, however you want to do that. Stage it with the bullet forward so you can do this, all the reloading stuff. If you want a link to a video on reloading, John's done a lot of them. I am not a great reloader, so do as I say, not as I do. Neil's working on this too, right? Okay, so what we're going to do, I recommend removing the Mantis, because you probably don't want to drop that on the floor if you don't have to. I know that they've dropped them off of buildings. I know they've drug them behind cars and all that kind of stuff. They are very, very tough as far as the equipment. Why take a chance if you don't have to, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to work on a reload here. So what I'm going to have you do with no time constraints at all. This is just introducing this. If you're already a king at this and can kill a reload, then so be it. Put yourself on a timer. But for the rest of us mere mortals, no time. Just introduce this thing. So you're just going to start your draw. I want you to push out, and you're going to pull the trigger 4 times. I'll do that again. Okay? Push out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some of those are dead. Get a hold of your other mag. Drop that one. Put another one in. Work the slide. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more times. So that's what that is. That's part of the drill. That's all we're going to do is push out, pull the trigger 4 times, reload, pull the trigger 4 more times. Jeepers. I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? All right, so I want you to do that about 10 times. Just get a feel for that. Next week, we're going to actually do this with a timer so that we can spend some time, additional time on that, because that's where a significant amount of points are dropped in the FBI qual. There is, from my experience. I know others might have other experience, but from what I've seen, that's where people really, they lose 4 points right there that they shouldn't have to. It's not a terrible long shot, something that's easy to hit, but that's where I want you to work. So we're introducing the reload. We're introducing some par times so people get a feel for that. Next week, we're going to go even deeper into that. We'll have some more of that kind of stuff. We're only spending 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week. So I really appreciate you guys doing this with me. I'm going to go take some cough medicine, get a little bit of rest, and I'll see you next week. Thanks.